Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the final day here of Team Atlantic's high performance camp here from St. FX University. These girls have one more game here, 60 minutes to leave an impression here to lock a spot up here for Team Atlantic. My name is Matt Dublé for High Button Sports. Coming in here late to finish up here for these ladies, and Team Gray, Team Red. We had a little bit of a goalie switch here, so now suiting up for Team Red in nets, wearing number 80, Annika Betts, and number 90, Eleanor Feltham, who have switched from the gray side to the red side this time, and now suiting up for Gray is number 60, Katie Hurley, and number 70, Paige McPhee. It looks like McPhee will get the start here for Gray, and Eleanor Feltham will get the start down here for Red. 20 minutes up on the board. Final day here at St. FX. See if exhaustion sets in a little bit. These girls have been nonstop. Lots of activities here around campus. Lots of team building, fitness testing, and of course the on-ice product, which you will all see here. So evaluators get in place. 60 minutes to lock your spot up here for Team Atlantic. Live on High Button Sports here. Last game of the weekend and the event. We're at center ice, and we are ready to go now as Red will touch up first here. That's Brooklyn Jefford, who's just going to rip that inside the zone. Back forward is Carly McDougall here. McDougall trying to rim it around to the far side. She's successful in doing so. She get it around to Vickers. Vickers tried to go up to the point. Wasn't able to complete the pass. Now as it bounces towards the middle, poke towards the goal, and good job there by Feltham as she just grabs that first puck. The faceoff's going to come to the left side of Feltham here. Worked all the way around. Into the far corner now, behind the net, looking for an option to the left side corner. It's going to be moved up to the point, right side. Slide it back down to the half wall, towards the front of the goal there. Couldn't get it to go as it was moved out of the way of the front of the net there. Now it's just going to be worked across and over the line. Claire Sanford left it there out front. Couldn't get it to go. Now it's going to be picked up by Ouellette. Ouellette came in and had it poked off her stick there by Vickers. This puck's going to come back to the point. Worked all the way around to the blue line. A shot there coming off the stick of Abby Dingwell. So that one goes wide. Into the corner it goes. Addison White on the forecheck. Around to Vickers. Still out there in the starting shift. Caught in their zone here. Now cross-ice pass looking for White there. Couldn't get it to go now as it's intercepted here by number 14, Emily Thomas, who moves it out into the neutral zone. Looking there for Jaylee McKinnon, but it was poked out of harm's way. Now as White is going to look for that stretch pass there. Icing waved off as that was just out of her reach. I do believe White potentially underage, but still falling under the U17 category. Playing for the Greenfoot Capitals last season. Chipped off the wall. That's going to be up into the bench there, and now play is going to be whistled dead here. 18-19 left to go here in this first period. So my first game here of this section, so getting used to the names here as we go. Sarah Almond on the draw here for Team Red. They tie up off the draw and poking through now back the other way is Team Gray. And over the blue line. That's going to be knocked in there by Nevaeh Robertson as she gets in on the forecheck. She's bumped off the puck there by Lily Spurl. Spurl from Newfoundland and Labrador making the trip here to St. FX. Now is Almond battling away. Couldn't win that battle against Summer McLean. McLean in there battling 3-on-1 over there on the half wall. Trying to poke that puck free. Good job there once again as Gray holds the line. Good job to take away that lane. Now Summer McLean walks in. Tried to stick handle towards the middle. Had it poked off the stick. And now it's going to be sent out through the neutral zone and all the way down inside the Gray territory. And on the forecheck in there was number 53, Kirsten McKinnon. Couldn't come away with the puck now as it's poked back the other way as Team Gray enters the neutral zone here just in front of us. Marissa Dawson had that poked off her stick and back the other way. Down the right side, shot towards a goal. Feltham the save as the rebound comes loose. Staying on that rebound, though, was Team Red and had it poked off their stick. Up the left side, Rachel Hartnell through the middle to Emily Mullins. Tipped inside the red zone and behind the goal line now. Picked up down there by Dawson, who cycles it down deep. But it was intercepted here by Team Red, who's trying to exit the zone now, and away they go. Good battle all the way to the blue line. Able to get that puck out. Chipped free. That was number 42, Ella Driscoll. And that's going to get all the way down onto the goaltender, Feltham. And she's going to cover it up and hang on. Sorry, this is under 18, not under 17. My apologies. See, either way still kind of stands true. Let's face off to the left side of Feltham. Soft taken cleanly here as it's worked around to the far side. Forecheck down there, partner pass across, one-time chance there across. As Sanford tried to rip that on the 1T and fanned on it as it switches sides here. Poked up the wall. Now taken out of the corner, down the left side. A shot there off the stick of McNeil. Just goes off the knob of the stick and in behind the goal now as they battle for it over there just in front of the Team Gray bench. Team Red able to get that puck down deep, working to the right side. Shot there, kicked aside. Feltham, rebound shot there by Sanford off the post. Following up, getting a point-blank chance, and she got all of it as it just hit the outside of the post. She was able to corral her own rebound as now that one's going to be chipped up and out of play, so the faceoff will remain inside the Team Red zone here, or sorry, Team Gray zone. It's been all Team Red here so far. Chip off the wall. Up the other way. Now it's a 2-on-2 forming a 3-on-2 with a trailer there. Is a great defensive play by Team Red. Eliminates that play. Cross ice pass. Vickers shot there. That goes wide. Goes all the way around to the far side. Chipped off the wall. Chanel Ouellette. The RNS stickers on the helmet now is going to get that in deep. Julia Sharp able to get it to her partner up the left side. Now good outlet passes. Gray's back the other way here in transition, and that's going to be waved off. Good job at the line. Opportunity right side shot there. That one just off a stick and up and over as Ashlyn Kearney got herself in behind the D for a moment there, but couldn't beat the stick of the defender. It's worked up the left side. Good pinch there and an absolute laser on net from the stick of Megan Mossy. PEI representative here, looks like. Face off down to the left side. Puck is down and Gray looking to collect here off the face-off. In behind the net. McLean. In front of the net there, that was tipped wide. Still with it. Working out of the corner now is Kirsten McKinnon. McKinnon with a good head of steam in over the blue line. She's going to fire one. That one goes high on the blocker side and over the net. Red looking to regain here. McLean couldn't get it out of the zone. Now it's going to be picked up here by Mossy. Mossy's just going to hit the gas here, and she's going to head down the left side. A little chip and chase as she'll continue on. Mossy runs into the defender down there, and Maya McCormick. It's McLean. Loops around the zone. She'll carry it around the left side. Still with it. Poked off the stick. Finds it again. McLean turns, fires it down low, but it was Gray completing a change there, so nobody home there on the cycle. So that's going to be pushed out into the neutral zone. Good exchange back the other way. In over the line. Gray all alone to the forehand. Had it poked off the stick there. That was Jay Lee McKinnon. And she can wheel. Oh, front there, an opportunity. Nice save made by number 90. Still down there in the corner. Worked out to the point, all the way back to the left side. Able to hold the line there was Culligan. Culligan's shot there, that was tipped. Didn't make its way on goal. Still down there in the corner. Red now trying to get out here as a good pushback from Gray. Through the middle of the ice, Driscoll picks up the outlet pass. She's going to wheel through the neutral zone. She'll backhand that in. Out of the zone, Gray. Nice cutback move through the middle of the ice, just off the outlet stick. Now it's going to be poked, but Red was starting a change, and that's going to kind of jumble things up there over at the blue line, so it was picked off. Now it's Hallie Rose McLean looking to get it free. It's going to be dumped down the ice. Back to pick it up here is Danny Ray McGinnis. Danny Ray McGinnis. Finding it now, Rose McLean. Poked it up free, and it's going to be ripped back down inside the zone. Red on the forecheck, able to come away with the puck, but only for a moment as Gray starts the breakout. Tipped through the neutral zone, and that's going to get all the way down onto the goaltender, who will just slide that over to her D. Reverse back the other way. Release Burl up the left side, or right side, sorry. Now it's going to be worked in. Shot there, nice save as the rebound comes free. And now Gray back the other way with speed. That's Ashlyn Kearney. Left it there, in over the line, trying to make a move. Couldn't get around the defender as Emily Thomas will continue on as she cycles that down in deep. Finds Jaylee McKinnon, but it was stripped there. And trying to poke it free. There's Kendall Doran, who will head for a change, so Gray will collect here in their own zone. Reverse back around the other side. Vickers picks it up on the left side boards. Poke through the middle of the ice. That's going to be right onto the stick of Thomas. Thomas walks in over the line there, and that one's just going to be offside. So the play is going to be whistled dead. Face off just in front of us here, a little bit to our right. It's won by Gray. Trying to poke it free. Now it's turned over. Back the other way is Ellie Eisner. Eisner slid it off to the right side, maybe unintentionally, but the puck did get through. Now it's a bouncing puck at the slot. Eisner looking for it. Picked up by McLean. Back to the point. Held in by Sanford. Sanford will back in that down low. Eisner in on the forecheck. Had that one just roll by her stick. Now it's a great outlet pass there. McLean gets around Sanford. And now back the other way. In over the line. Robertson shot towards the goal. There's McKinnon out front there, and we're going to have a penalty now. It's going to be a tripping call, and I think it's going to go to Claire Sanford here, just at the offensive blue line. So if you guys have been joining us for a while here now, the old jailbreak rule in effect. Shorthanded goal ends the power play, so 2 minutes up on the board here, just about halfway through the first period. Back to the point. Sliding out front there, got a deflection in front. Great setup there, but couldn't get it to go. Now, ooh, and a big hit down there in the corner. And she went sliding in heavily there, but back to her feet and a little bit shaken up, it looks like, was Rachel Hartnell. She's going to stay out there, though, however, so it's worked back to the point. Nice exchange back to the other side. Drag, shoot, couldn't get it to go. Mossy had that roll off the stick. Now it's back the other way. Addison White shorthanded. In on the loan to the forehand, and she scores. And just as we talked about the jailbreak, it happens right here as Red will strike first. Addison White, as she does, a great breakaway move there. One of the tougher players to stop one-on-one. And it's just like that. It's back to even strength, and it's 1-0 Red here. So I've always been a fan of this rule, folks. When they brought it into the PWHL, the jailbreak rule, it kind of gives you that little bit of extra push to get something done shorthanded, maybe not just fire the puck down the ice, which is also a good option, but to allow your team to get back to even strength through some hard work, a player down. So big fan of that rule. Don't think we'll see it anytime soon in the NHL or anything like that, but only time will tell, I suppose. Back the other way they go. Maya McCormick, nice move. She gets in behind the D on the left side, walks in, oh, front there, couldn't get it to go. With Sarah Allman on the doorstep. Back to the point. Chip down low, looking for the return pass. It's front of the goal now, and work back the other way. Chip through the middle of the ice. Good patience there. Had the chip, waited for an extra second. The defender got all turned around, so that was going to allow her to make a direct pass. They do for a sec, but it rolls off the stick now as it's going to be picked up here. Feltham now, is this going to be Lauren Ward down the left side. She'll walk in over the blue line. So we had a goaltender switch here, and I'm still getting used to it. So I'm probably getting the names wrong here, but we'll get it eventually. Battling down there in the half wall. Sharp across. Nice one-touch pass up the right side through the middle, just out of the reach there of McKinnon, who's going to get in behind the D now. Somerville lost that battle, but was able to regain possession now, and she's going to move it up ice. Puck sticking a little bit. Driscoll swoops in to grab that loose puck. She walks in over the line. She drags and shoots, and she was taken down in the meantime. As Gray looking to go back the other way. Puck inside the line. Ward in behind the goal. Worked back in behind the sack same way it came from. So back to the point. McGinnis shot there through a crowd there. Good job on the save as that rebound comes free. Now Driscoll back the other way. She's going to fire that through the middle. It was picked off. Good job coming through was Avery McPhee as she came through and read that perfectly. Chipped off the wall. Ward underneath us. Turned it over. As Nevaeh Robertson will fire it back to her point. And now it's going to be inside the line, but off the officials. We're going to play pitch and catch here through the middle of the ice. Chipped off the wall. Back the other way now. Robertson had a hard time with it. In to help out. There was McPhee as she's just going to fire that in deep. Felt them out to play it. Down the right side, Doron shot there looking for the rebound. Gets the rebound, but nobody quite home there for Red as it's all the way back to the point, and now it's going to be chipped down the ice. And that is going to be icing. So 7:44 left to go here in the first period. Just the one goal so far. And the Addison White short-handed goal. So face off to the right side now. Paige McPhee. Gray able to get that puck outside the zone. Sanford's going to go back to collect here. Just inside her own zone. Stopped up, but she's being pressed there. Now turned it over as the puck will stay inside the zone now. Down the right side to the back corner. Drive there to the net. Comes up a little bit short, but they were able to find the rebound. Now is a shot through a crowd that was initially saved, and then the rebound popped free, and not going to take any chances in front as that one's ripped up into the netting. Pretty good pace here to start this game. Final day of the week. Usually when fatigue starts to set in a little bit. It's been hot up here at St. FX, so the heat also a factor, the warm dorms, all those type of things. That's all part of the process here of this camp here and seeing what the players are made of. Hartnell trying to slide it out front. Couldn't get it to go. It was off a skate. Now White takes the outlet pass. Tried to get it outside the zone. Wasn't able to as it's looped back in the own zone. Chipped off the wall. Nice play there as Eisner couldn't get it deep. She'll turn around and get it on the forecheck now as she'll chip it in deep. White there on the forecheck. Finds that loose puck. Trying to drag it to the front of the net. Lost it. Goes back to the point. Taken here by Ouellette. Ouellette walks in. Oh, front for White. Backhand chance. Couldn't get it to go. Not enough room to get a whole lot of mustard on it now as it's going to be looped out the other way. Chip back down inside the zone there was Brooklyn Jefford. Up the right side now. Nice exchange to the middle of the ice. McKinnon right side. Shot there. Nice save made by the blocker. Rebound. Picked up. Held in at the zone though, but now it's going to come out. As Team Red back the other way. They're going to head north. In over the line. Walking towards the goal. Shot there. Nice save made as it was redirected into the corner. Gray on the breakout now. 2-on-2 back the other way. And over the line. Drops it there towards the goal. Redirected into the corner. Good rebound control there. Down there in the corner they go. That's coming up the glass. That was heading towards the booth, but stays inside the game play area. Go to the blue line. Held in. Gray back the other way. Now is Vickers. She'll carry in over the blue line. Now over the red. She tries to dump it in. Chipped off the wall now. Red looking to go back the other way, but it's all the way back into Gray territory. Driscoll looking for that loose puck as she joins the party from the bench. Now it's going to be ripped in deep. Back for it here is Sharp. Sharp all the way around to Vickers. Vickers stops up and goes back against the grain. Around for Sharp once again. Back the other way goes Gray. Thomas straight down the gut, down the middle. Opportunity to shoot there. She scores. Emily Thomas, great individual effort. She goes right down Broadway and fires it past the glove, and all of a sudden it's a 1-1 hockey game. So back to center ice we go. Just under 5 minutes left to go here in the first period. Thomas looking for some more. She muscled off the puck. Back through the middle of the ice, and away goes White. Grace White chips it in. She's going to head in on the chase. Right into the end wall there. Zero fear. Driscoll works out of the corner. Around the top of the circle. Goes back to the point and wasn't able to connect there as that puck comes back outside the line. Turned and fired back in by Kearney. Feltham out to play it. Leaves it there for her defender. As Rylan Gabriel picks it up the right side. Chipped off the wall. Kendall Doran back the other way, 2-on-1. She'll keep, she'll shoot, and she'll fire one off the crossbar. And an absolute laser of a shot from Kendall Doran. Off the rush there, the 2-on-1. Goaltender starting to cheat a little bit there to that backdoor pass, which gave Doran an opportunity to find a hole, but she just wasn't able to beat the iron this time. Working off the draw. That's Hallie Rose McLean looking for it, but now it's going to be scooped up by Mossy. Mossy's going to hammer down the left side. For Gail McNeil on her. Mossy, nice drag move. She's going to get in behind. Centering pass off the skate of Sanford. She went sprawling down. So that's going to be pushed back down into the corner. Right side. Now recollected here by Jefford. Jefford across for Sanford. Sanford couldn't handle it in her feet as she had it stripped by Summer McLean. McLean tried to center. Jefford taking a spill there as Hallie Rose McLean fires it through the middle for Flora. Gail McNeil aren't able to get anything going on the rush now as McLean in over the line. Sanford, good job to re-gap up now as McLean walks in. Nice move there. She faked the shot, made the defender bite, and tried to pull it into the middle, but in the meantime had lost the puck. Chip through the middle. Ellie Eisner unable to collect as McKinnon chips that to herself. She's going to give chase, but in over the line now is Hartnell. Hartnell centering pass through the crease. Ouellette couldn't get it out. Now Eisner will. She's going to move it through the middle for White. White spins off the defender. She's going to have a step now inside the blue line. Addison White shot there off the knob of the stick. Working right out of the corner. Nice move there. White wants that puck. You could hear calling from it from there. She pulls and drags, but it was blocked before it could get to the net. So the puck comes free in the half wall. Hartnell looking for it. She'll poke it through the middle for McPhee. Up the left side is Eisner. White dragged the foot to keep herself on side. As Eisner fired out front, it's loose in the crease there for a moment, but cleared out of harm's way by Hartnell. She moves it through the middle. Cross ice pass picked off. Red. Good heads up there as that's what happens when your head's not buried. You're able to see what's going on there, and despite having to give the puck up, she kept the flow of the game going here and allowed Red to regroup here in the neutral zone as the puck heads back into their own zone. Final 2 minutes here of the first period, a 1-1 hockey game. Good battle now. Nice move over to the corner. That was Almond. Almond's going to fire that cross ice just too far out of the reach, but it's not going to have enough for icing here. It's back for it first there was Sharp. Sharp across to her partner. Now it's going to go right side through the middle of the ice, just too far out of the reach now of number 19, Sophie Urquhart. Urquhart finds that puck though as her and Somerville tangle up down there in the corner. Switches sides. Gray cycles it down low. Good job below the goal line. The return pass coming in front. They cycle it once again, but it was off a skate into the corner. Good battle down there in the corner. Just to our right here. Worked out by Gray. Up to the point, through the feet and outside the line. Going to go through the middle. They do. Now it's going to be chipped in, but it's going to come to the blue line, and that's it. As now Red will head back the other way here in transition. And over the line. Nice move to the inside. Still with it. Oh, front there off the pad. Rebound loosened off the other pad. Nice save in front. Puck comes all the way back to the point. Shot coming. Couldn't pull the trigger in time to get it to the front of the goal. A great rush there from number 55, Maya McCormick, but it's Gray back the other way. and over the line. Shot coming through a distance there and a crowd. So another rebound comes loose. That one was lofted up over the goals. We're in the final 35 seconds here of the first period. Chip to the point. Good job to hold the line. That's going to be dumped back inside far corner. Vickers activates from the right point. She got in there first. She'll rim that around all the way back to the point. Thomas holding the line there as the defender walked into the play. She fires one on goal as it's kicked aside. Driscoll now is going to be penalized here late in this period. Stick in the skates and down they go. So a late power play here. 10.3 seconds left. While we have a sec, we'd like to thank everyone involved at this event for having us here for this 10 to 12 day event. Started out with the Hockey Nova Scotia High Performance Camp, and now we're in the U18 Team Atlantic tryout. So thank you for having us. It's an honor to be here and watch some of the Atlantic's top players go at it here as the first period will come to an end. 20 minutes up, 20 minutes gone here. 1-1 hockey game at the end of 20. We will have a short intermission, a quick flood, and we'll be back with the second period when we return. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back inside the arena here at St. FX University for the second period, the second last period of this girls under 18 Team Atlantic training camp game here. 20 minutes up on the board, a 1-1 game after the first period, and we're underway with the second period action. So both goaltenders will stay inside the net, just the two goaltenders for each team, so not one period each. Gabriel fires it across. Sanford through the middle. Tipped all the way down the ice now. A minute and 30 left here on the power play for Team Gray. As Mossy will carry. Sanford stepped up. Got a stick on the puck there for a moment, so Gray will have to reset up here now as Mossy down the right side. Try to move it under the stick. Goes all the way down inside the defensive zone now as Sanford battling down there with Jaylee McKinnon. Door on. Spins off. Still with it. Slides it across for Sanford. Sanford is going to loft that down the ice. It's going to go all the way down onto the goaltender, and she's not going to take any chances there with the red jersey right on front, and that is Paige McPhee covering it up there. So, mentioned earlier in the game, the goaltender switching teams. So McPhee and Feltham will stay in the goal here. Off the draw, Jefford able to find it and dump it in. All the way around to that far side there, that nice pressure-treated piece of glass. It's through the middle and behind. Nice job to troll the blue line there. She kept a foot on the neutral zone side and a foot in the offensive zone, which allowed her to stay on side, but also retrieve that pass. Nice spin move. That was Lexi McIntyre. McIntyre will get the return pass. She's going to walk in the middle of the ice. An opportunity to shoot there. Ran into the stick of Maya McCormick. In perfect defensive positioning. Now another backdoor pass there. Banged off the side of the goal, and that's going to go the length of the ice. McCormick will give chase. McPhee out to play it. Gray looking for the breakout. Just 10 seconds left to go in the power play. McIntyre in behind. Great job to stay on side, just inside the blue line. Stopped up. Nice move. That was Brooke Taylor. Got it in deep. Chipped off the wall, but not out. That was Danny Ray McGinnis. She's going to walk in behind the goal. Centering pass off the skate. Puck still loose. Back to even strength now, so 5-on-5. Somerville tied up there by Marissa Dawson. It's now taken here by Red. Lofted out through the neutral zone. White was in behind the D. Gray just onside. Down the left side, they enter the zone. Battle off the puck down there. Good battle in the corner. That was Sophie Urquhart. Now that's going to go off the stick of Ellie Eisner. That's going to go all the way down onto the goaltender, and she is going to once again hold on here. 17:26 left to go here in the second period. Just under 3 minutes into the second period here, and in behind we have, not sure if it's a football camp or a tournament or what the case may be, but meal hall and all that stuff has been jammed up here with some big bodies, and it looks like over there in the corner you can see them piling into the arena here. Probably number one to get cool, and number two just to see what's going on over here in the arena where all the commotion is. The corner still trying to keep it in the zone. Now is Gray looking to break out here. Reverse play there. They read it. There was Eisner behind the goal. Now White with the wraparound chance there. Couldn't get it to go. And now it's going to find the goaltender, McPhee, and she's going to hang on. Tell you what, in a day like today, much rather be in here in the arena than out there on the hot turf. I think these girls would agree wholeheartedly as well. McCormick down there in the corner. Tripped off the wall. She's going to get the return pass. Had it whacked off her stick just as she retrieved the pass. Loop through now is McKinnon. McKinnon loops it back. Up the left side now. Through the middle, runs into Hartnell as they tangle up. Almond looking for that puck, but back to collect now is McKinnon. McKinnon for Almond. who lost that battle there to McDougall. Good puck moving here by Team Grey as they enter the zone. 3 quick passes. They're in, outdoor in front. They score. Great zone entry. Got the puck in behind the goal line. Forced the defenders to defend exactly and look at behind, and that left the player open in front for Team Grey on a point-blank chance, and they make no mistakes. They're going to take a 2-1 lead here, and that was off the stick there of Ashlyn Kearney. So like I said, a couple of quick passes inside the zone. You get the defenders all kind of mixed up down there, and all of a sudden you find yourself wide open in front of the net. No mistake made there, so it's a 2-1 hockey game here for Team Grey. Love to see that neutral zone play there. It's just as easy to carry it in and dump it in, but a couple nice passes. Like I said just moments ago, forces the defense to kind of force a lane and sometimes get themselves out of position. Now is Jefford just going to rim that inside the zone. All the way in behind the goal now is Ward on the forecheck. Megan Mossy got it out of the zone. Now it's a 2-on-1 forming back the other way as McLean. With Robertson, McLean tried to keep and shoot. It was deflected and it goes up out and out of play and into the netting. Face off down to the right side. Our left side, goaltender's right. Back to the point, fake the shot, tried to go back down there for Robertson, who couldn't find the puck as it goes back to the left side point. Shot towards the goal, that was deflected. It just goes wide. Now as McLean picks up the loose puck. Hard pass up to the point. McIntyre into the middle. Going to try and find a lane. She does there. Fires one through a crowd, and a nice save made there by Eleanor Feltham. Now another shot coming. No, but fake shot and down low. Back up top. The left side point. Cross ice right away. McIntyre couldn't handle it. Ward was on the forecheck, but she wasn't able to get the puck outside the zone. Now as Jefford partners it across for Sanford. Sanford backhanded up the right side. Weakly and not able to get the puck out of the zone. And once again held in by Gray here. Jefford back for it once again. Fires it across for Sanford. Sanford. Cross ice pass, turns it over. Shot there and Feltham out at the top of the crease. Staying up out of the butterfly. Will snag that one with the glove. And she will hang on. So face off to the left side of Feltham now. Puck is down. Doiron will find it off the draw. Tries to whack it out towards the blue line, but it was held in at the line. Doiron now. Nice bank pass back the other way, and that one's just going to be ahead of the play, so it's just going to be an icing. So we'll go back down to where we started on this sequence. Gonna be some tough picks here for the evaluators here and the coaches. Lots of real good hockey being played this week, so always a good problem to have when you have to make some tough choices for your hockey club. And obviously Team Atlantic always kind of the underdogs when it comes to those tournaments, and you have Ontario, BC, Quebec, all that kind of stuff. So not to say they can't win it, but they definitely go into a tournament of that size with almost no respect given, I guess you could say, from the bigger provinces. As a guy from the Maritimes and the Atlantics, you can say that with a fact. It's Gray back the other way. Through the middle, nice pass. Going to try and go backdoor once again there and just couldn't get there in time as that puck was rolling through the crease. Now Doron's going to find it. She'll move it up the right side. She's going to head for a change, though, as Hallie Rose McLean just going to get the red line. She's going to get that in deep as it bounces off the end wall. Vickers collects, loops in behind her own goal. Robertson was looking for that outlet pass, and they couldn't get it to her, but Vickers will continue on as she enters the zone. Down deep, centering pass was deflected. All the way back to the point. Shot coming from a crowd. Tipped up and over. Feltham the save. Through the middle of the crease once again. And couldn't get it to go. Now it's going to be chipped outside the zone. White in behind. Great job as she came across as the weak side winger. She'll stop up. Pulls. Had it poked off her stick there. She continues in on the forecheck. White refines that puck. Centering pass. Trying to find her teammate. Turn around. Somerville Fires it in deep. She walked the middle of the line, didn't have a lane to the net, so she puts it in down into the corner safely. Still in there, looking for it at the side of the goal now. Puck's still loose, and it was laying right there at the side of the crease, but the whistle's going to go. They thought they had the goaltender in possession. So we'll have a face-off to the left side here of Paige McPhee. Back to the point. McCormick wanted to go back to the D. Good job on the face-off assignment there from the outside winger. They lost the draw. She knew exactly where she needed to go, and that's up to that far D to eliminate that pass thought. She does exactly that, and that allows Gray to break out here as Feltham has to come out and play it. She's just going to loop that in behind her own goal and trying to shove play right at the front of the goal. Rebound, and at the side once again. Nice save. Worked out of the corner. Hartnell now looking for her options. She's going to walk right across the top of the circle, and as she tried to make a move, had it poked off her stick. Cross-ice pass right onto the tape. Hartnell enters. Nice pass under the stick. Shot there, goes wide. McKinnon was going to the back door. Battle ensue here. Sarah Almond. Rimmed it around for McCormick, who had it poked off her stick and back down deep. Now Gabriel. Or sorry, that's Somerville. Had it poked off her stick. Megan Mossy now with it. Loops. Fires a hard pass off the far boards. Driscoll loops around the top of the zone. Had it poked off her stick, but it didn't come out. Down deep. She's going to look to return. She slots in on the cycle. That's going to get by Gabriel, and that's going to go all the way down inside the zone. Gabriel spins away from the forechecker as that's going to allow her to poke that puck free, but it stays inside the zone on a good forecheck there from Summer McLean. McLean working on Sanford down there as they tangle up. Chipped up and over, trying to knock it down there was Ward. Ward's going to get in behind though now. His shot coming there off the elbow. Nice save there. McPhee probably didn't think much was coming of that opportunity, but had to be sharp now as it's going to be fired back towards the goal. And at this whistle, you would assume that both goaltenders are going to make a switch, so we'll see exactly that. Now as Annika Betts will come in for Team Red wearing number 80, and for Team Gray wearing number 60 is Katie Hurley. So Hurley playing in Connecticut last year, and she's from Newfoundland and Labrador, and Annika Betts from New Brunswick. I do remember her playing at the Ice Jam there for the Dieppe Flyers, I do believe was the team. If not Dieppe, then one of the teams in Moncton regardless. So both those goaltenders will finish this game here. McIntyre up the right side there for Taylor. Taylor tried to chip it into the middle, but it's off a player and into the netting, or into the bench, sorry. And out of play. And the face-off will come all the way down into the right side of newly entered Hurley. Tough gig for the goaltenders, folks. If you talk to any goalie, you get warmed up before the game, and then you have to sit for a period and a half, and then you're thrusted right back into some high-tempo hockey. But, you know, if you come in and you do a good job, that's going to look good for you. Now as Doron fanned on that shot on the way to the net. The right side. Through the middle, nice pass. Robertson in behind. Chipped it free. Her and Gabriel tie up down there as they'll work it free. Doron tried to find someone through the middle. Sanford able to collect that puck. She's going to get the red line and get it in deep, and now she's going to head for a change. Up the right side. Through the middle. Back the other way. And over the line. 2-on-1. Slides it back door. Tried to go back. Doron back on the back check. Will disrupt things enough for that puck to head back the other way here for Team Red. McNeil lofts it up and over. She's going to head for a change, as well as the other two forwards. So full sail forward change here for Team Red. That'll allow Vickers to move out of the zone. Nearly had it picked off. Cross ice pass. That's just going to get out of the reach of Ouellette. She's going to get it on the forecheck, though. Looking go to the corner. Still with it. Marissa Dawson all the way around to the far side. Hartnell's going to chip that out through the neutral zone. Eisner is going to come back here for Team Red to collect. Eisner across for Jefford, looking for the return pass. She'll get it. Great exchange there. Now is Eisner down the right side. Ellie Eisner tried to center, had it poked off her stick. Couldn't get it to the front of the goal, though. Ellie Eisner from the East Hants area. Jefford now is going to dump that in. White's going to head for a change. Now all three Red forwards are going to head for a change. They have the long defensive change here, so that's going to allow Gray to break out here. One-on-one back the other way. Stopped up, McKinnon. Good wheels, turns, fires through a crowd. It was blocked along the way. Allman finds a loose puck, and she'll move it over there for McKinnon. Kirsten McKinnon. It's McCormick. Over to the right side. Poked free. Allman couldn't find it. Back to the point. Audrey Poirier took a bump on the way as it's rimmed around to the far side, all the way back to the point for Somerville. Somerville comes outside the blue line, though, on her drag. And so Red will have to regroup here as Mossy picks it up on the right side. She's going to poke it free. Finds a lane. She'll carry it in. Stopped up. Nice little play there. She spins off another defender. Still with it. Mossy. Oh, front. Nice play. McKinnon tried to feed it back there for Brooke Taylor and just couldn't get it into an area where she could win a foot race there. Now it's worked back towards the goal. Betts able to redirect that one towards the corner. McLean towards the front there, and that one was blocked. Taylor cycled it down low. Mossy able to hold the line. A shot coming towards the goal. Rebound is loose. Still there. Opportunity shot there. Betts way out at the top of the crease. That one goes wide on the blocker side. Still with it. McLean trying to turn and fire it back door. Now as Mossy picks it up. She's going to drag the line. Carries it. Lofts it down deep. Great backhand saucer pass there. Hands together as she was stick handling. So didn't need any space or extra work to get that one through. And that's a great skill set to have. As Robertson was in there on the forecheck. Couldn't come away with the puck. As Red trying to break out here. Real good press from Team Gray. McLean couldn't get by Ella Driscoll. It's going to be chipped up through the middle of the ice now. Is back the other way. Lauren Ward looking for that loose puck. She'll swoop in there. She's taken down there. Play continues. McIntyre spins away from Driscoll. Good edges there as Ward gets in her way, but it's McIntyre coming away with it. Driscoll rubs her out on the wall. Back for Gabriel. Gabriel tried to slide it back up. Driscoll reaching for that puck. Ward couldn't find it. Now it's in over the line. A shot coming there that goes wide and off the end wall. It's going to get out past everybody. Icing's going to be waved off. This play continues. Hurley leaves it there for McIntyre. McIntyre up for Mullins. Mullins looking for her teammate from the regular season. She chips that down the ice. Icing waved off as it was tipped from the proper side of the red line. Betts out to play it as she rims it around to the far side. Kendall Doran collects. She's being pressed there from both sides as that puck will get inside Team Gray zone. Back behind is Julia Sharp. Good exchange there now through the middle of the ice. Rachel Hartnell in over the right side line. Down deep. Pressed off there. Sanford, good job to keep her to the outside as she continues on the battle. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left to go here in the second period. Real good pace here. Still no goals to show for in the period so far. Or actually, my mistake. There was one earlier on here in the period to make it a 2-1 hockey game. Honest mistake. Team Gray looking for the breakout up off the stick of Hartnell. Now is in with speed as Dawson. She's going to go back the other way. 1-on-3. Dawson cuts to the middle and was bumped off the puck there as it rolls in onto Betts. She's going to cover it up here. So just 24 minutes here left for these ladies to make an impression. White was streaking in behind. Weren't able to get the puck to her. As it's back the other way. Over the line, Thomas with a goal already there. Short side shot. Got more of it than people probably expected now as Eisner. He'll be harassed there from the behind position. Nice move and a great breakout as a back pass onto the stick of White. White tries to center to Eisner, who was coming in late, but White's still with it now, trying to find that loose puck. Back to the point. Good job to hold the line. Turnaround shot in front there. That one goes wide. White battling. She's pinned up against the wall down there by Charlie McDougall. As Eisner's taken down. Comes all the way around to the far side. Good hustle play there as Poirier was able to hold the line. Eisner, stick lift. Couldn't find the loose puck though. Team Grey will get that in on a change as Betts out there to play it up the right side. Nice move through the middle of the ice now. Good job to stay on side as it's dropped just inside the blue line there. That was picked up by Ouellette, who's just going to fire it in deep and head for a change. It's McKinnon and Allman down there on the forecheck. They can't get it away from McKinnon. McKinnon got it to the point. The partner pass trying to come through the middle of the ice was picked off momentarily. Now it's just going to be chipped up into the neutral zone. Trying to look in behind though. Good defensive play. Mossy now trying to find that loose puck. She's battling. Good tie up down there. Now is McCormick able to poke that puck free, and she's going to head the other way. Maya McCormick left side. Thought about shooting it. Good job on the defense to stop up and not continue on now as it comes back to the left point and cycled in deep. Clock not working here now. It's 2:19, 2:12. Looks like they got her back going. They could always reference our clock up here as well. Usually pretty close. Robertson now, a little chip pass at the end of the shift there, so two of the Grey forwards will head for a change now as Somerville goes back for it, but it's Robertson in on the forecheck causing a whole bunch of ruckus down there. Now is going to be picked up here by Driscoll. Driscoll couldn't get off to the races. McLean had to wait to get back on side. Nice move at the blue line to buy her some space. McLean tries to slide it back door and couldn't quite get it to go. A great defensive play there from Team Red. Somerville picks up that puck. Cross ice pass, that'll escape everybody. As Ward came flying in. Hartnell tries to loop it back to her D and successful in doing so as they try and go through the middle to McLean, but it was picked off. Lauren Ward in on the forecheck. Carries it in on the backhand. Back to Sanford. Sanford turns, shoots, hits a body in front. Was Grace White. Centers out front for Ward. Puck's in the high slot. Ward knocks it down with a hand, and she's tripped up along the way. So play is going to go back the other way here as Team Grey. And over the line. Nice move. Cuts to the right side. Fires it towards the goal. Looking for backdoor and couldn't get it by the stick. Now wraparound chance there. Good job. The defender was in the proper position. Now as Ward's going to go back the other way. She's going to fire across ice. Nice pass. Sanford jumping into the play opportunity. Shot there. A laser, and that one just goes wide. Looked like maybe Hurley got a piece of it, and this one's going to go the length of the ice here, so that one is going to be a late icing call here, charged to Team Grey. So the faceoff's going to come back down inside the Team Grey zone with 34 seconds left to go here in the second. Right off the draw there, they almost get one by, but Hurley standing tall. And now back the other way, Team Grey, a little chip and chase, couldn't get it by Sanford. Sanford moves it into the middle, trying to find Doron. Now it's going to be picked up there by Vickers from the Cape Breton Lynx. She dumps it in. Sanford trying to battle. Stick up near her face there. She ties up with her counterpart down there. Good press here from Team Grey late in the period, and that's pretty well going to bring us to the end now as they tie up, and that will do it. 2-1 lead for Team Grey after 40 minutes of play. We'll have a flood as normal, and we'll be back with the third period, so we'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here for the final period here on the final day. Just had a little bit of a clock issue there, but it looks like we have got it situated here now. So 20 minutes up on the board, 2-1 lead here for Team Gray. Both teams ready to go. Puck just made its way back in to the ice surface, and this is it. 20 minutes. One lasting impression here for the evaluators. Gonna have to wait for the representative to get off the ice there. Great job by her to come in and rescue the clock here. So puck is down and we're underway. The left side, twisted into the middle. White trying to chip it free. Gray able to work it back now is Jeffert. Going to try and find White up the right side. She does, able to get a piece of it off. Sorry, the icing waved off. Mossy played in Etobicoke last hockey season. It's Jefford back for it. Through the middle of the ice. Just picked off now is Mossy in over the line, and that's going to be whistled on the offside. So first whistle of the period here. Like I said, 20 minutes left. Make something happen here. Looked inside the zone. On to the far side. McLean runs into Almond. As they tangle up there on the half wall. Looped in behind now is Somerville up the left side. McCormick couldn't handle the outlet pass, so it's ripped back down inside the zone. Poked free once again. Poirier trying to come outside the zone. That's going to be chipped off the ice, and that is going to be icing here. So I was just waiting to see if the arm would stay up there so I could leave the camera down here. So it'll come to the right side of Betts here into the end zone of Team Red. Nice spin move there. McIntyre tries to carry it in deeper. Had it poked off her stick as the puck will come out through the neutral zone. Looped back inside the zone. Culligan up the right side. Tipped off the stick. Icing waved off as it's going to go back down into Team Red zone. Betts came out to play it there for a moment, but her defender was right there on site, so she let it go. McIntyre once again chips it in deep. Towards a goal, tipped in front now, an opportunity out front there. Betts sprawling through the crease, but Team Red able to come back and collapse into the house and get that puck out of harm's way as McIntyre, the outlet pass up the right side. That's just going to be ripped in there by Dawson as she's going to head for a change. Great job by Betts there. She came out to play it. Gabriel nearly had it stripped by Robertson. Now it's going to go back in behind the goal. Poked free, Doiron. Battles. Up the left side half walls, it's rimmed around through the middle of the ice. Doiron ran into some bodies now. She's going to look for that loose puck. Turn it over, Hallie Rose McLean back there off the pad. Puck still loose out front, and Gray swooping in to go back the other way here. Chipped off the wall. Sanford across for Jefford on the partner pass. Through the middle of the ice for McNeil, who couldn't get a stick on that one, or maybe she does, according to the official. It's ripped back down inside the zone. Rose McLean left it there for McNeil. McNeil battling, trying to get away from the defender. She's going to come away with that puck. Drags it across the top, stays with it, drags it, lost it as McKinnon goes back the other way. Getting it to Kearney, who couldn't get by Jefford, who stepped up at the blue line. Great gap control there by the defender, but now it's Kearney back the other way. She's got Sanford to beat. Kearney tries to pull it off and shoot as Sanford got a stick on it there at the last second. Stretch pass back the other way. Ellie Eisner got a stick on it, pokes it free into the goal on Hurley, and that's going to be covered up there with Eisner on the doorstep. Face off to the left side of Hurley now. And Behind the goal, Eisner tied up. Pokes it free. Towards the front of the goal. Now there's going to be a penalty here. Eisner touched up shot there, tried to go short side, but Hurley was on the post, and now Gray will touch up here. Good heads up by Annika Betts as she started to head towards the bench for the extra attacker, but it's going to be a penalty here to Team Gray. Number 14, Emily Thomas, a goal in the game so far. Now she's going to get her name on the score sheet for a penalty here. Not exactly the way you want to get on the score sheet. That's how I always found myself on the score sheet anyway. So power play now, Team Red. Looking for the equalizer here. To the middle of the ice. Poirier walked in, had it poked off her stick. It'll come outside into the neutral zone now as Red will have to re-rack in center ice. Poirier fires it back. Good job there, and a real good job by her partner to get underneath on the anchor and become a support. Gray rips it around. McDougall looking for it. Comes free. Turned it over, and no one could handle the puck on Red, so it's going to be ripped the length of the ice now as Betts comes out to play it. She's going to fire that off the end wall. Addison White back to help out. She's just going to collect in her own zone. She's going to see some ice, so she's going to turn the Jets on here. Drags it. Nice move. She opened herself up. Now she's trying to poke that free, but had it poked off her stick now as Mossy saw the lane and fires it in deep all the way down the ice, and White went for the change there. And one thing you like to see, I would say as an evaluator, of course I'm not one, but that hustle to the bench, arguably faster to the bench to get that other fresh set of legs on as she was going up the ice. So just small little things like that go a long way, especially in an evaluation process. As McCormick now, she can wheel through the neutral zone. She carries it over the left side, dropped it there for her seasoned teammate, Sarah Almond. Now down the left side, shot there, tipped in front, puck's loose in the slot and cleared as Hartnell got a stick on it as Almond will go back to collect. Almond up the left side, McCormick enters the zone, she'll open up, waiting for some support. Real good press there from Mossy now as she tried to spark Taylor back the other way. Taylor 2-on-1 here, shorthanded with Robertson. Robertson trying to get herself open. It's going to be cycled in deep safely. 5 seconds left to go here in the penalty to Thomas. Now we're back to even strength as Thomas steps out of the box. McKinnon jumps on. She's going to find that loose puck. Red was heading for a change. Jaylee McKinnon down the right side. Shot there, blockered away by Betts. Betts knew there was no one at the back door, so that allowed her to come out to the top of the crease and cut down that angle, knowing full well that there was no option back door. So that's going to be looped in behind. Ward might find a loose puck here, and she will. In over the hash mark. Centering pass, looking for her teammate. Now Ward will find that loose puck as she collects, works around the top of the circle, stick handles around the top of the blue line. Walks down low, cycles it down deep. Sanford works around, fires it down low. Driscoll couldn't get a stick on it as she got herself on the opposite side there. Tried to get herself opened up for the one-timer, and now back the other way is McKinnon. McKinnon flying through the neutral zone, in over the left side, cuts the middle, turns, shoots there. That one kind of surprised Betts. I don't think she was expecting the shot. McKinnon once again shot there, and another save made by Betts. A couple chances here for Jaylee McKinnon. Now is Ellie Mullins. Had that poked off her stick. Into the left corner, through the middle of the ice. Great job to pick that up. On the backhand there was number 45, Grace White, who's just going to chip that in deep. She's going to head for a change here. Now is back to collect here is McPhee. For Mullins. Mullins tried to chip it back to her partner, Hallie Rose McLean. Great second effort there by Mullins as she nearly caused a turnover. It was back in time to make a play. Now it's down the left side. Chipped in deep. Betts will whack that into the corner. Not a bad little play there from Avery McPhee. She couldn't get a shot through. Knew her teammates were coming in late, so she just tried to chip it in, kind of give herself an opportunity to win a foot race. So that'll allow that puck to stay inside the offensive zone here. Thomas took a stick. Off the side of the goal, Betts had to be careful. Good job to clear it to harm's way. Dorion in perfect position on support. She'll walk in over the line, didn't have any options, so she tries to rim it in and switch sides as Rose McLean in on the forecheck as well to help out. She gets pinned up against the wall there by Vickers. And to help out defensively was McPhee, who leaves it in behind there for Sharp. Sharp through the middle. McLean had it poked off her stick there momentarily. Towards the goal, and there, a surprise shot. Nice save made, Hurley. McLean trying to get that puck outside the zone. Eisner slides it down low. Rose McLean out front there for McNeil, and she only got a stick on it, was able to get a deflection, but Just goes wide. McLean, nice outlet pass. That's going to allow her team to break it out cleanly here. That's going to go all the way down inside the red zone now. Somerville back for it. Reverse play against the green. Nice play as Chanel Ouellette able to pick it up. Ouellette up the left side for White. White cuts in. Nice move. Still with it. Opportunity to shoot there. It was blocked. She's going to try and get in that loose puck. Rimmed around to the far side. Back against the green once again. Mossy. The right side for Hartnell. Couldn't get a stick on it as the puck will trickle down inside the red zone. The right side there, missed and touched up by Gray, so icing waved off. Hurley out to play it as she leaves it there for her defense, Mossy. Mossy chipped it up, trying to give them a 50-50 puck there, but wasn't able to get the puck out now. Now they will. It's Hartnell. Walks in, thought about leaving it there for Robertson, but it's Almond who picks it up. Almond on the left side, tried to dump it in, only got it as far as the ringette line now, as it's going to be tangled up there. And it's going to go all the way down the ice for icing just about halfway through the third period here. The faceoff will come down to the right side of Katie Hurley for Team Grey. Good clean faceoff win from Team Grey. Carney couldn't handle it as she was pressed from behind. Battling down there in the corner. Good physicality here in this game, and there's no body contact, but there's, or body checking, but there's certainly body contact here, and that kind of ups the intensity of these games as well. These ladies know exactly how to hit to contain and, I guess, bump to separate, so let them play as they normally do. Towards a goal, looking back door there for Taylor. Couldn't quite get it to her though. McIntyre able to get that with the stick. And then the skate. That'll allow her to get it inside the zone. The right side. Unable to handle that. Now it's going to be ripped back down inside the zone. Betts able to redirect that one into the corner. Reverse play. Spurl turned it over. Trying to go up top. White. That's Grace White. Now McLean had it poked off her stick. Red had to be careful there as Ward jumping on from the bench, and now that's going to be whistled on the offside. 9:38 left to go here in the third period. Over halfway through the period now. A few more shifts for each one of these girls. One back cleanly. Jefford on the partner for Sanford. Sanford left side returns it back for Jefford, who had followed up. Real good stuff there. Simple game when you're able to read it like that. Jefford got in on the forecheck. Grace White with it to Sanford. Sanford on the left side as she enters down below the goal line. Carries it around. She'll bank that off the wall. Took a weird hop back to her partner, and that's going to go all the way down into Team Red territory. Betts rim that around to the far side. Foot race there. Sanford back in a hurry to pick it up. Sanford will stop up and behind her goal. She'll walk out now up the left side. Ward thought she had the option. She saw the red jersey, Kendall Doran, coming through. Now Ward gets a stick on it, looking for that loose puck, but it had lofted back down into her own end zone here. Doran picks it up. She's going to head north. Doran rolled off her stick. And now back the other way goes Team Grey on transition. Slap shot on the way, and Betts with the save. That looked like number 13, Ellie Mullins, from the Eastern Stars organization. So face-off taken, the left side. Chipped off the wall. Hallie Rose McLean in a foot race there with Charlie McDougall, and looks like McDougall's going to get there first. We'll rim it around to the far side. Robertson trying to poke it free. Got it up to the hash marks and not out as Doran now collects. Fires one there, and cheeky stuff there as she started to move in behind the net and knew the goaltender was going to start to follow. So in the meantime, she saucers one up off the back of Hurley, and we have a tie game. So that is just incredible IQ there from Kendall Doran. known for her scoring, but showing off the smarts there. Just unbelievably placed puck, and dead silence in here on that one. Everyone's just kind of in awe of how that one kind of transpired. So it's a 2-2 hockey game now, folks, with less than 10 minutes to go. Good puck retrieval here. Up the right side, White trying to let that puck travel so she could get some speed built. Dingwell back. She rims it around to the far side. Great job by Vickers to read that as she slots down from the defensive position to hold the line. Chipped out through the middle of the ice. Back forward is McDougall. Spins off a forecheck on McDougall, off the wall. McKinnon couldn't get it out of the zone. Eisner finds that loose puck. She turns, tries to fire one, and got disrupted before she could fully let it go, so it only trickles onto the goal. White trying to peel her way out of a crowd. Dingwell activates. White gets that puck there, and she got a one-time shot there on the return pass, but fanned on the attempt all the way back to the blue line. Held in. Somerville. Centering pass there. White swiped at it, but the puck was cleared. Now is McKinnon. Her first two steps are unbelievable. Down the ice she goes from 0 to full speed pretty quickly. And she's all alone, 1-on-4. Trying to eat as much ice as she can to allow her teammates to get in and support as they have the long offensive change here. But now that one's going to be whacked up into the netting and out of play. 6:46 left to go. Face off to the right side of Annika Betts. Looked into the corner. Pinned up against the end wall there. Almond on the defensive side of the puck. Waiting for that one to poke free. 2-on-2. Good job there as they were able to knock it out of the crowd. Now as McCormick will wheel in behind her own net. Maya McCormick chipped it off the wall. Couldn't get it out though. She went up the strong side. Now is McCormick. Pokes it free. Almond couldn't find it. Now following up is Rylan Gabriel. Had it poked off her stick. Had to be careful there on the forecheck. McCormick. Good play there as Almond will skate onto a puck. That's a quiet area puck, as I like to call it. Not a direct pass, but a pass into an area where you can give your teammate optimal percentage to win that foot race. Good look there across ice. Now is this going to be picked up there by Hartnell. Hartnell walks in over the line. Shot towards the goal. Couldn't get it to go. Now as it's dumped down the length of the ice, and we're going to have an icing charged here to Team Red. Time ticking away here now, 5:34 left to go here in this game. Off the draw, one cleanly. McIntyre, nice spin move, gets around Ward. Ward stays with her though, great shadow job there. McLean and behind the goal, she runs into Jefford. Battling down there and behind the net. Still tied up down there. Dead silence here in the arena until they pull that free, which they do now as Gray looking to control. A big hit down there in the corner. No call though. Sanford is going to head north. She's going to chip that off the glass to herself indirectly. She's taking a bump down there by McIntyre. Physicality picking up here a little bit to finish this. Now as McLean will chip it by Jefford. She's going to try and get in. Great job by Jefford there as she was able to maintain perfect defensive positioning there without taking a penalty. Face-off will come just in front of the red bench. Underneath, 5 minutes to go here. Just a few more shifts each. Through the middle, McKinnon looking for that outlet pass. In the middle of the slot, there's Dingwell. Stays on her. McKinnon down there in the corner. Staying strong on the puck. The middle of the ice, shot there off a set of shin pads. Puck was loose there for a moment. Now Doran's going to pick it up. She walks in over the line. Doran towards the goal, looking for that rebound. She gets it, but better rebound control there from Hurley. And a hit there, and big collision. They're going to let that one go. Good clean hit. Now it's a lofting puck is up and over, and had to be careful was Hurley as that one was kind of just twirling up and over everybody. All the way around. Chipped off the wall. That one will get out. Stingwell, the last one back, had it poked off her stick. Now poked into the middle of the ice there. Mullins just didn't have her stick down quite yet, as she will find that loose puck inside the offensive zone, and she'll fire towards a goal. Addison White couldn't get it out. It's Mullins looking for that loose puck once again, but it's going to go back the other way here, Team Red. Great battle there. Vickers, absolute dog on that puck. She wasn't taking no for an answer that time as she out-battles her opponent. Now that puck's going to go down the ice. Thomas pushes on Somerville. Now Eisner will softly poke that around to the far side where Spurl will pick it up. Poke free. Addison coming across on the weak side wing are able to poke that puck to the blue line, but not out. Now it's going to be rimmed around to the far side. White chipped it off the wall. Great job there by McDougall. She took away that lane. Passed out front there. Shot. Mossy got a lot of that on her front foot. Off balance. Shows you how good her shot is there as that one just missed wide. It's going to go back down into the gray zone. 2:45 left to go here in the third period. Mossy looking for that puck. She picks it up the right side. Turned it over. A little miscommunication there between her and her teammates, so the puck is poked back towards Team Red territory. Somerville up the right side. Grace White in her feet. Able to get it outside the zone, though. Sorry, that's Kirsten McKinnon. My apologies. Up the right side. Puck still sitting there. Now it's poked free. McCormick in to help out defensively. Had to hurry as she got it across to her partner with McLean hot on the scene. Almond looping back into towards her own zone. She fires that up and off the bench. So the whistle's going to go here, and we're going to have a face-off with 2:02 left to go here in the third period. Face-off on the way here. Pushed all the way to the far side. Ward on the left side half wall through the middle of the ice. She's going to find Driscoll, who chips it into the middle of the ice. McDougall collects just inside her own blue line, moves it up the left side for McLean. McLean had Sanford on her. Puck bounced over her stick, so she wasn't able to get it in deep. Now is Ward once again chasing with McDougall here. McDougall spins off. Driscoll, and on the forecheck. Good clean breakout so far for Team Grey. Hartnell couldn't get it to go. Chipped into the middle. She'll get the return pass towards the goal. Betts finds it through a crowd. 90 seconds exactly left to go here. 2-2 hockey game. Will we have some late game heroics? So just to the left of Betts. Looks like it's going to be McKinnon and Doran on the draw. Right off the draw, peeled out of the crowd. Hallie Rose McLean able to get a backhand on it. Now is Doran in behind the D. Doran back the other way. Shot there, and she scores. Hurley got a piece of it, and McKinnon was hard on the back check. Two of the stronger straightaway skaters in this camp. As Doran gets her second of the period and gives her team the lead late here. So just as I mentioned, will we have some late game heroics? Doran goes back the other way. Pots one home to make it 3-2 here. And still lots of time for Team Grey to tie this one up. So just 80 seconds left to go now. Back to center ice we go. Puck is down. One cleanly by Team Grey as McIntyre will get the red line. She's just going to fire that in deep as it goes off the stick of Dingwall. Worked off the end wall. Sanford rims it around. Rose McLean for Doiron. Doiron back the other way once again, looking for the Hattie. shoots there and tried to use the D as a screen. An absolute bullet off the stick of Kendall Dorian is smothered up by Katie Hurley, and she'll hang on. Red off the draw, back to Sanford. Ripped one off the shin pads. That one's going to be banked off the wall, and that's going to go all the way down. For icing, no, says the official. Good communication there from Betts. Nice pickup off the wall, though, is McLean. Nice move inside. Couldn't get around the second defender, McIntyre. But can we talk about that indirect pickup on the backhand, full speed there from Hallie Rose McLean? That is not as easy as she made it look. So a great play there, and that'll allow them to maintain the zone now as Sanford fired a shot from a distance, and that's going to be blockered out of play. 30 seconds left to go now. A 3-2 lead for Team Red off the stick of Kendall Doran here late. So we saw a shootout at the end of last night's game. Not sure if they'll do the same, but we will see a victory celebration or dance or whatever you want to call it, if I'm not mistaken. Now, like I said, I was late to the party here, so I only got to take in the action online, but I guess we're 30 seconds away here from finding out, or less than. This Team Gray looking to get out of their zone now as the puck poked free. Could have a chance late here, but Jefford back in plenty of time. She partners that across. 7 seconds left to go. Ripped down the ice, and icing's going to be waved off here, as that'll pretty well bring us to the end of the game and the event here. A 3-2 victory for Team Red. The wins and losses are nice, but at the end of the day, they don't mean much here in an evaluation camp. So with all that said, after the victory, we'll wait to see what they do here. We'd like to thank everyone involved for having us along here. High Button Sports, we're very proud to be on site for such a prestigious camp like this, and to have an early inside look at what Team Atlantic's going to look like here for us. Also like to thank Hockey Nova Scotia for having us on board for the high performance program. So we'll step aside here while the teams shake hands. My name is Matt Dulay for High Button Sports. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage from wherever you might be. Summer hockey coming to a close here at St. FX University, so we'll wait for the official celebration, and then we'll shut it down. So once again, thank you very much for the support, and we will see you at the rink. All right, folks, there you have it. The celebration dance officially concludes things here from St. FX University. Once again, thank you very